3 pathways you can take in 2025 to get started with AI automation. 12 months ago, when I first started, I wasted hours upon hours trying to work out the best niche to focus on, the best tools to focus on, the best industries to focus on. So what I hope to achieve is to save you guys the time I spent by highlighting the key pathways you can take, as well as clear industry use cases we're seeing success for businesses and the tools associated with each of these pathways. So whether you're looking to create automations for your own business or you're looking to create automations for other businesses, this video is the right video for you. Now let's dive in. Before we dive into the 3 pathways, let's start by understanding the opportunity that's presented itself in front of us. So with the rise of large language models like OpenAI's GPT or Google's Gemini, we're actually seeing the democratization of technology itself. Imagine everyone's got a super smart friend, and this friend is trained off thousands and thousands of books, thousands and thousands of research papers, as well as thousands of conversations on the internet. Now, with a few simple instructions, we can actually get this friend to now perform almost any task for us. Now, this is extremely powerful and unheard of 5 years ago. And with this, we have the ability to create powerful and extremely valuable tools for businesses that can automate processes, saving them time or driving real results to their profit line. Just a side note, the way you talk to LLMs is referred to as prompting. Now, we actually have a video on prompting. It will either be here or here. And what we'll do is we'll cover the foundational principles that you need to understand to get the most out of these systems. Let's start with number 1, workflow automation. So workflow automations is setting a set of instructions for the computer to follow from the start of a task until the end. And we can use this to handle all the boring and repetitive stuff businesses see in the day-to-day. So a good example of this would be for a business, an email comes in. Now the assistant would have to understand the nature of the email, who to alert within their team, what information from the email to store into their systems, and this would use different softwares and programs. What tools like Make and Zapier allow us to do is to bridge the connection in between these different platforms to automate the workflow in between these systems, so the assistant doesn't have to lift a finger. Let's start with use case number 1, automated onboarding system. So onboarding can be a giant time sink for businesses, whether it's the hours that they've got to do sending all the resources to clients updating systems, or the days on end back and forth that they've got to do in between clients. So with workflow automations, this can be automated. Let's say, for instance, a new client signs up. They're immediately met with automated welcoming email, including the resources they need for the next step. If there's any contracts or forms that they've got to fill out, the workflow automations can be monitoring this, waiting to receive this information. Now, once all this is received, it can update the customer management systems, giving these businesses updated information in real time as soon as these answers come back in. From there, it can invite the client to the relevant communication platforms or even just update their internal staff of the next steps being followed by the client. Now, businesses are saving hours and hours for each client they deal with this automatically. So this turns what is normally a 2 to 3 hour process, not including the days of back and forth that sometimes can exist, into an automated, streamlined process for them where they're seeing real value with this. Use case number 2, a content generation system. Now, we actually have a video coming out on how you can set up your own content generator and auto post the system using tools like Make and Airtable. Now, that will be coming out in the next few weeks, so do be on the lookout for that. Now, what this allows for businesses to do is to be able to write something like a brief description on what they want their content to be about, upload a relevant image, and then from there, we can extract that information, send it to an AI where it can create high-performing platform-specific content, which can be then scheduled to be automatically posted. This can save hours for staff members creating content. We've seen real estate agencies that we've worked with spend 30 minutes to create 30 pieces of content. This is a massive game changer for businesses. And this isn't only just for short form content, this can be for long form content too. So for use case number 3, we have lead qualifying systems. So we've actually built one out and shared it on our YouTube, which will be posted either here or here. And what this will allow businesses to do is automate the collection of new leads, categorizing them whether they're high value or low value, and then automating the next process on that. So imagine a business runs an ad out and they're collecting information from a form for all potential new clients. Within this can then be sent to an AI to understand the needs of each of these people, maybe their budget, a little bit about them. It can match it with the business's ideal customer profiles. So from here, it can allocate a grading based on the priority of this lead, allowing them to dedicate the time and resources on the highest priority leads. So, all right, we'll get into the different tools you can use for workflow automations. So the three that stand out is make.com, Zapier, or N8N. Now, personally, we use make.com as we find it's very easy to understand. I enjoyed the canvas and the builder, as well as its affordability. Now, Zapier has been around for longer, and they also have a very good ecosystem within Zapier itself, but they are also the most expensive. I've seen in certain cases it can be up to 7 times the cost of Make. Now we're seeing the rise of N8N, which allows for more complicated workflows as it has a lot more flexibility for coding. And it also has the ability to self-host for businesses that require a higher privacy sensitivity. Now, we currently use Make at Autoroll, but we're looking to transition into N8N. So from my honest opinion, I would get into N8N or Make, have a feel about what works for you. But in all honesty, focusing on any one of these three will be a clear winner moving forward for workflow automations. All right, so next we'll be looking at AI voice agents. Now, the AI voice agent space is moving extremely rapidly at this stage, and these systems have the ability to handle both incoming and outgoing conversations, with AI assistants trained specifically off businesses' information. In fact, we've actually created a video highlighting how you can build a basic incoming voice agent right here. So feel free to check that out after this video. The true power in these systems lie in their ability to take calls, both ingoing and outgoing, 24/7. Not only that, they can handle multiple calls at one time. So you can see this far exceeds anything a human's capable of. So next we'll get into use case number one, the AI receptionist. Industries like electricians, real estate agents, and restaurants are all adopting an AI receptionist at this stage. And it's moving very rapidly as these systems can take in calls 24/7, booking in leads and potentially leading to them waking up with booked calendars. These systems are ensuring these businesses are never missing a phone call. Not only is it handling the appointment setting side of things, but it can also handle the general inquiries, the FAQs, pretty much anything that distracts these people from doing their job. And for certain industries like trades and services, with your electricians, your plumbers, even your real estate agents, the time they spend on a phone isn't time they get to spend doing the actual work that converts. This can be really powerful for these industries, saving times for them going over the same conversation, answering the same calls, allowing them to focus on the highest value task. So our use case number two is AI voice outreach systems. And we're seeing these heavily adopted by places like real estate agents and also gyms. Now, we're seeing a good use of these in real estate agencies where they've got a large list of potential people selling their home, where they just don't have the time to actually reach out to all these people. So these systems can actually reach out to their existing lead list and qualify if these people are interested in a free appraisal or they're interested in selling their home. And they can shortlist that for the real estate agents to focus on these people that are a higher chance of converting. So for gyms, we're actually seeing they have a large inbound lead list of people coming in, giving their details. So what this system can actually do is save their employees the task of manually outreaching to all these people to qualify them, where the AI can call these people, collect their information, qualify whether there's someone that would look to book in or wants to book in with the gym, and either booking them in or at least escalating their priority within the list. So as you can see, once again, these are 24/7 systems. They can handle multiple calls at once. And they're just extremely powerful for industries like that, especially when you got sectors like real estate where a lead could be worth thousands of dollars. So moving on to the different tools that you can use to build out voice agents, you have different platforms like Vappy, Bland AI, Air AI, or Synthflow. Now, us personally, we use Vappy because we adopted their ecosystem early in our progress. So we're just familiar with their systems, and I find it really nice and really easy to use, and it's been great to work with it. But any one of these other systems will work. We're seeing people get results from all these other softwares. The one thing we'd highlight is with Synthflow. Now, it's definitely the easiest to get on board with, but their actual pricing tier list starts at $29, and I think the second tier is potentially $375, which is a huge jump. But their easeability and implementation, and especially their white labeling service, makes this ideal for agencies that already have a list of leads that they can sign on. So if you can get through the first client or two, you can really start to scale cleanly with Synthflow. But once again, we use Vappy and we find it excellent. So That would be our recommendation. But once again, don't get FOMO. Any of these systems will work. We're seeing people have success with all of them. So for number 3, we have AI text agents. You may remember the old style chatbots that would be on websites where they'd be often clunky and slow and hard to understand and hard to even get what you wanted out of them. But with the power of AI, these systems have been rapidly advanced to the point of near human-like conversations. When trained on business-specific information and use cases, we can leverage this to provide real value to businesses. Like AI voice agents, these handle incoming conversations 24/7, but from the text basis. So we're seeing them used on things like websites, all the social media platforms, Instagram, your WhatsApp, your Facebook, and even seeing them used in SMS in certain cases. So with that, we'll move on to use case number 1. Now this would be the inbound Instagram appointment setter through DMs. Now, we're seeing these systems rapidly be deployed for most businesses, and more importantly, businesses that specifically run off Instagram. Now, there's a large amount of businesses that do this. They get a lot of their traffic from their social media presence and in turn book clients. Now, the biggest struggle they have is keeping up with all the inbound communications coming through their DMs. So this is where an AI text-based agent can sit trained off all their information, being able to answer all the FAQs and the general inquiries, and then being able to lead the potential lead through qualifying questions to look to book them into a service or an appointment of the sorts. The value here is very clear, and studies show that responding to a lead within 5 minutes dramatically increases the close rate. They've actually seen that responding to leads after the 5 minutes can drop conversion rates by up to 80%, while responding within 5 minutes can increase lead conversion by up to 21 times versus responding after 30 minutes. By using an AI agent, businesses can capture all these incoming messages and then convert them into real qualified leads. For our next use case is the internal AI agent system. Now, these systems aren't just for potential leads or clients. They can actually be used for internal employees within a business. Now, think to yourself, you go to business, you've got all your protocols, your SOPs, your general questions that get asked by your staff. Now, instead of them having to bug a coworker or to email a manager and wait for a response, you can have an AI agent trained with the company's information that these employees can refer to at any moment in time. We're even seeing these systems be specifically trained for the customer service divisions or the sales divisions, just allowing new staff and existing staff to have access to standards and information that they need at the drop of a hat. Any questions all these guys get, they simply ask the agent, saving everyone time and making the whole process more efficient. Next, we'll get into our tools for AI agents. Now, the main tools that we'd recommend is 1, Agentive. Now, Agentive is an excellent platform for building out these AI agents and being able to upload them onto WhatsApp accounts or social medias. And not only that, you can build out specific tools for this as well. So imagine you have an AI agent and then it's also plugged into a sales calculator that's internal in your team. And it can reference this when communicating with clients. So Agentive creates a really good ecosystem to build out these agents and to add additional attachments onto them to make them even more powerful. Now, next we recommend ManyChats. Now, ManyChats is a great simple builder used for the social media platforms, predominantly the Meta. But where we're seeing real power in this is actually when you take it out of the ManyChats ecosystem and pair it with something like OpenAI's API system. You have ManyChats dealing with the front end and OpenAI dealing with the intelligence of the AI agent, the back end. Now, we're actually building out a system like this currently. So if you'd like to see a video on this, let us know and we can drop a build through on this. They're the 2 I would recommend looking at for the social media side of things. Another platform we'd recommend for websites is VoiceFlow. Now, VoiceFlow have a very intelligent system for building out conversational flows and very complex flows. So you can really see this highlighted in the use cases for e-commerce brands when they want to reference internal documents and stock when dealing with existing customers or new customers. We find VoiceFlow is really good for this. So there it is, guys. With either of these 3 ways, you can provide real value to businesses. So if you feel a passion or an interest towards any of these 3 particular avenues, I would jump on YouTube, look for all the free resources, look for all the videos out there and just start learning, get into it and have fun. So if you like this video, you'll love this video up here where we'll go over the foundations and the frameworks for how you can get prompting these LLMs. And we'll be looking forward for you to check out the next video. Thank you.